Everyone, and welcome to another live watch long show on Football Talk Podcast. My name is Ozzie, and I'm your host for this evening. Chelsea versus Liverpool is set to be underway. So, what we'll do before the game begins, we'll go through the lineups and see who is starting today. Now, in terms of the Chelsea team, we've got Sanchez in goal. You've got Gusto at right back instead of Reece James, which is a slight surprise, but he's still, of course, in the lineup. You've got Cucurella on the left, you've got Babada, and you've got Achampong in your back line there. So two young centre backs there. And you got Caicedo alongside Reece James, which is a slight surprise. I thought maybe it would have been Enzo and Caicedo, but it looks like has a more advanced role in today's team, playing just behind the striker. And you've got Ganacho on the left, Neto, sorry, on the right, and you've got João Pedro um, leading the attack for the Blues today. Now, in terms of Liverpool, we have Mamadashvili, of course, replacing Allison, who has picked up an injury. You've got Kerkez on the left, Bradley on the right, Kanate, and Van Dijk completing the back line. Then you've got Alexis McAllister, you've got Gravenberch, and you've got Gakpo on the left, Salah on the right, Sobozlai in that advanced number 10 role. So no Florian Wirtz, he's been dropped to the bench, and you've got Alexander Isak leading the line. Now, in terms of the bench, let's see what options we have today. Um, For Chelsea, you've got Gittins, of course, the summer signing from Dortmund. You've got Jorgensen, Hato, Gui, Bonote, Estevio, Slonina, Lavia, and Emanolo. And for Liverpool, we've got Gomez, Endo, Verts, Chiesa, Jones, Ekitike makes the bench, which is great news as there were some rumors circulating that he could be out to 4 to 6 weeks, but that is definitely not the case. And then you've got Robertson, Woodman, and Frimpong to complete the bench there. So strong bench from Liverpool, I think more so than Chelsea. So it's going to be very interesting to know how this game pans out. So the game has begun. Chelsea are currently on the ball right now. Let me bring the scoreboard up for you guys, and feel free to present your predictions in the live chat. I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory for Liverpool. A lot of my viewers have said that whenever I get a fresh haircut, Liverpool tend to win. So I've got the got the fresh fade today. So let's see if the superstition is real. Because the last couple of weeks I've not had a haircut and Liverpool have lost two on the bounce. So let's see, how it goes today. Um, but I'm intrigued to see how the team is going to be playing today. There's a lot of players that have been out of form. Um, and because of that, I feel like we need to kind of revert back to how we used to play last season, i.e., when it comes to the midfield, for example, you've got Gravenberch who's been given a bit more of a free role this season. Even though he's produced, a couple of assists and a goal here and there, I feel like it's kind of disrupting the dynamics of the team. So I would like it to be where, we revert back to Gravenberch being the defensive minded midfielder, in that double pivot, so playing as the number six more or less. And then you've got McAllister being the more progressive midfielder. That's what we need in this team because we haven't got the right balance there. When you've got a player like Groundberg who's been allowed to roam around, you're losing that protection in the back line. And I think that's why we've been so easy to play against. People going through us because there is no protection there. So hopefully that can be tweaked today. I think that could, solve an issue in that sort of department. Salah's on the ball. Lovely pass to Szoboszlai. Flicks it over to Isak. Good touch from Isak. Gakpo. Trying a little toe punt there, but got blocked there in here by Achampong. Big game for Gakpo. He hasn't really performed to his standards, I think. So hopefully he can light up Stamford Bridge today. McAllister. Oof, just tackled there by Gusto. Gakpo still has the ball on the left-hand side. Kirkers with the cross. Miss Salah and Isak in that move there. But looks like he's playing the deeper role today, which is what I want to see. And Actually, what he's doing right now is even better. I want him to be in between the two centre backs in this kind of transition rather than being further up the pitch, closer to the final third. That's not where we need to see Groundwork. If we had a different profile of midfielder in our squad where, we had like a number six and then it was Groundwork alongside it, then you can give Groundwork that license to roam around. But right now, we don't have that kind of facility to do that. And we have to go back to how we used to play last season. And I think that could give us that protection in the back line. I think it could give us a better balance going forward as well. Capo was going to go with the first time throwing there. The relationship between Gakpo and Kerkez hasn't quite worked yet. Kerkez is frustrated with Gakpo for not releasing the ball sooner. So that's something that needs to be worked on in the training ground. Because right now, we don't have a great balance on that left hand side, in my opinion. Good touch from Gakpo to Isak. Isak on the left channel right now. Chimpong going 1-on-1. I thought that was going to be a good pass there to Szoboszlai, but Caicedo reads the play really well. Big test for the likes of McAllister and Groundberg up against Enzo and Caicedo. Reece James looks like he's playing a bit of a quarterback type role where he's quite deep and he's pretty much setting the tempo for the Chelsea team. Salah to Isak. Oh, Isak trying to lay it off to Salah. Salah keeps the ball in play. Cucurella just about got a touch on that ball there, even though he was falling to ground. Liverpool playing with more purpose today so far in the game. Cucurella just about keeps the ball in play. Not the best of blocks there from Konate. Oh, that's really does really well to come off his line to make that clearance. Not sure about the clearance, but it's out of danger, and that's what you really want from your goalkeeper. Barella. Through ball to Garnacho. Conor Bradley. That's exactly what we got to do. Keep tight on him. Don't give him any space. He has to revert back to Cucurella there. 10 minutes played. Chelsea nil, Liverpool nil. No real chances on goal for either team. No one's really gone on to the attack. But in terms of performance and positional play, Liverpool have had, the better of the ball. They've been quicker with the passing. They've been moving the ball around better. Chelsea haven't really got onto the end of the ball. They've not really played with any sort of rhythm or consecutive passes. So right now, Liverpool have been the more positive team. I don't mean we've got nothing to show of it. We've not really had a shot on target yet, so we're just waiting for that moment to occur. Salah on the counter, through ball to Isak. No, not the right pass there, in my opinion. Isak had to do too much there. That move always favoured the defender, of course, being a left-footed player, always going to get onto the end of that pass. But well done from Konate with the interception. Salah needs to just play a bit more closer to Isak. It was too straight, that pass. Need a bit more of an angle there. Oh, Konate diving in. Konate needs to be careful with that sort of maneuvers. Can't just dive in like that. You got to stay standing. Can't just you know give the opponent an opportunity to just go through the team because now with him sliding, he's on the ground. He's left the defense exposed. That's an area of the pitch that has a gap now, so they'll definitely exploit that going forward. So he needs to be a bit more smarter and not just dive in for the sake of it. Got to stand tall in these kind of moments. Gusto, the cross blocked by McAllister. McAllister, lovely cross from Neto, just slightly overplayed there for Garnacho. Goal kick for Liverpool. Canate, Gakpo, oof, heavy touch. Not sure if he was trying to lay it off to Isak or go on his own. Ended up being neither. Oh, well, that's really with an awkward pass back to Van Dijk. I say though, driving the ball, he shoots. For God's sake. What a goal. Can't deny a moment of brilliance when you see it in front of your eyes. That was a great shot from Caicedo. Smashed it in top bins from about 20, 25 yards out. Of course, he would have enjoyed that even more with it being Liverpool, a team that he almost joined at one point. Yeah, that's a frustrating one to take because it hasn't been, a dominant performance from Chelsea. It's been all Liverpool. But these are the crucial moments, you've got to trouble the keeper. And this is a tactic that I wanted Liverpool to deploy. I mentioned this in the match preview, where we've got to take long shots because you've got keeper like Sanchez who's, prone to making errors. And that's really does get fingertips on it. But let's have a look from this angle. It's more clearer. No, you have to give credit to the midfielder. Fantastically hit shot. Pretty much levered that into the top bins. Yeah, it's a good goal. 1-0 to Chelsea. Disappointing for Liverpool because I don't think we've been that bad so far today. But you got to kind of forget that now and try and get back into the game with the equalizer. Going back. Oh, try to ping a ball to Salah there, headed away by the Chile. Nice free ball there from Cucurella to João Pedro. João Pedro with a cross. Garnacho. Sin. Good clearance from Canate. Oh, good header there from Kerkez. Cucurella. Little wayward cross there from the Spanish defender. Could Liverpool have done any better there? Caicedo getting past McAllister quite easily there. Wouldn't quite say he's at fault, just couldn't get around to make the block there. But it's a fantastic try. You can't deny that. As annoying it is to say out loud, but it was a great strike. Gakpo, that's well up against Reece James. Flicks it over to Isak. Isak on that left side again. Isak to Gakpo. Gakpo. Back to Isak. Superstar! Oh, blocked there from Chile on the goal line there. Was it offside? Okay. So that goal, I don't think would have counted. Let's have a look. Mhm. No offside there. Gakpo to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai tried to hit through Enzo's legs, but unfortunately couldn't find Liverpool's number 9. Chelsea playing with a bit more confidence after scoring the opening goal. Mm. Szoboszlai pressing on Chile, but he passes back to the keeper. Salah almost going on to the end of that ball. Chile looks like he's on it today, making a couple of good blocks. Canate. Caicedo. Gusto. Neto. Unable to get onto the end of that ball. Got a couple comments here from Ozzie. Big up Ozzie. Says, "What are we doing, Ozzie? This midfield is cooked, man." Yeah, we've not really controlled the midfield at all, to be fair. But having said that, before the goal, I felt like Liverpool were playing some neat football. We looked a bit more sharper than normal. Of course, it's probably not hard in comparison to what we've produced over the last few weeks because we've been quite poor. Um, and I feel like we were the sort of the better team or the team that was most likely to score. But in this day and age, we should all know that when it comes to football, it only takes a moment of brilliance to break the deadlock, and that's exactly what happened with the Caicedo goal. Arguments would suggest maybe Caicedo, oh sorry, McAllister should have defended better against Caicedo there. But you have to give credit in terms of the strike. It was a fantastic shot from Caicedo from about 25 yards out. But in terms of me trying to look at the positives of our setup right now, I'm pleased that oh, I'm not pleased with that pass from Konate. Heavy touch from Conor Bradley. Still finds Mohamed Salah. Bradley losing the ball there to Enzo Fernandez. As I was saying, in terms of the midfield setup before, I completely lost track of my thoughts there. One thing that I'm looking in terms of our positive is that Groundberg is playing a bit more deeper in comparison to what he has been doing in the last few weeks, and I feel like that's why we've not found that balance in our team. So hopefully, that can play a part in terms of trying to compete today and trying to get the equalizer, and hopefully going one step further and getting the winner today as well. But there seems to be a better balance so far. I know it's probably doesn't feel like it's a positive because we're losing right now, but based on the performance, it's better in terms of what we've seen in recent weeks. Good catch there from Dashvili. First time throw, not a bad throw there to Salah. Salah having to revert back, fortunately. Ozzy come out with the comment says we won't reclaim top spot unless we win a draw. It ain't good enough. No, it's not. It's not good enough. We need to do much better. I know it's very early in the season, but these are the moments that oh come on, that's a foul on Salah. What is this referee playing at? He pretty much just threw him to the ground. Is this referee part of UFC or WWE or something? The way just let that go, ridiculous. Let's have a look at this moment. Oh, I think he was just offside there, just off. Oh, whoa, Perkins, and plenty of space there. That was a decent opening there. Gakpo and Perkins forming some sort of connection for the first time today. Come on, Gakpo, get onto that ball. Good dummy there from Sabogla to Salah. Bradley on the ball. Oh, foul on Sabozlai. He looks to be in quite a bit of pain there. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's a sore one. I wouldn't say it's a red card or anything like that, but it's definitely a bad foul. Gakpo. It's been more lively today, Gakpo. That Gakpo and Kirk's connection is is off again. They're just not on the same wavelength, are they? Gakpo to Isak. Isak tries to come inside, but he's blocked by Pedro. I need McAllister to be a bit more progressive today. I need forward passes from the maestro, not sideway passes or backward passes to the defense. He's not going to have any influence into this team. Woman here from Ozwrld come out saying the way they're playing, Gakpo speaking Dutch to Kirkes right now. To be fair, Kirkes should understand Dutch. He played it for AZ Alkmaar, but yeah, regardless of what language they're speaking, they're not on the same wavelength. So yeah, something needs to really improve on that side. Going forward, if it doesn't improve, you might have to just revert back to Robertson in that left back position because Gakpo, there is some sort of relationship there, but it's still very early days. So I'm sure that's something they're working on in training, but right now it's just hasn't clicked at all, unfortunately. Poor pass from Gravenberch to Kerkez. That goal is just taken the wind out of the Liverpool team. They were playing a bit more positively before. Now we're a bit sloppy. We're not stringing passes along. It's back to how we performed the last 2 or 3 weeks. So we've got to just have a different mentality. Try and be a bit more positive. Kerkez, it's from goal. Not gonna lie, he should have shot. If you're in that kind of position, and Salah, of course, was thereabouts, but he had two defenders around him. I would have gone for goal if I was Kirkes, but tried to pick up Salah, and Isak was behind, but couldn't find either of the strikers there, or attackers, I should say. Free kick to Chelsea on that left hand side. Latte to Szoboszlai. Salah on the right hand side. Because trying to find Isak there, not the best of passes. More hopeful than anything else because I was never going to get to the Swedish striker. Van Dijk, Isak. Isak falls to ground. Ajampong takes over. Driving the ball right now. Tries to lay off to Gusto. No, sorry, that was João Pedro. But unable to find his striker there. This is my concern with McAllister in our midfield. You know, players get past him with ease. Oh, wayward. Clearance there from Sanchez. No surprise. He's not good on the ball with his feet at all. Doesn't come out of the comments saying, bro, they're running right through McAllister like a training cone. You're not wrong. They really are. All of the moments that have occurred with Chelsea going through us, they've all gone past McAllister, and it's with complete ease. That's what's a concerning thing for me. Pilate making a decent block there. And it's not even just down to, stature, him not being like the biggest of midfielders or anything like that. It's just more a positional thing where you need to be aware of your surroundings. And if you are tracking back, you've got to make your presence felt. And he's not there. I think when he's chasing players back, they're just breezing past him. He's not keeping up with them. So for me, he's struggling from a fitness point of view more than anything else. So once he gets that in order, we should be able to see the best of McAllister this season. But right now, fortunately, we're not getting the best of accounts with the Argentine midfielder. What is wrong with him, man? Is he still carrying on? I feel like he is. I really do. I feel like he's playing through the pain barrier. He's not playing. Um, oh, flipping out. Garnacho almost making it 2-0 for Chelsea, but his shot just goes wide of the post. Oh, he actually hit the post. Oh, penalty shots there. Soboza apparently pushed Garnacho. Let's have a look. The replay. Let's have a look. Ah, soft. Come on, behave. Behave. And the referee is literally right there, front row seats. He's got the clearest view there. That is not a pen. If that was given, the game's gone. Honestly. Maresca. was a great comment there. Good night for practicing for the Olympic diving event, Ozzy. He is. He's definitely heading for gold medal. And that was an effortless dive there from the Argentine winger. So yeah, looks like he is, to be fair. Got 5 minutes left before stoppage time as we approach half time very soon. Short corner taken from Liverpool. Szoboszlai to Gakpo. Is that overplayed? No, he keeps it in play, just about. Gakpo. Decent cross. Caught by Sanchez with ease. Sanchez with clearance up top. Not a bad pass, to be fair. But Conor Bradley does really well to deny Garnacho through and goal. Man on, Szoboszlai. McAllister tries to forward pass. Blocked by Badashile. Moklate. Groundwork. Poor touch. Liverpool just playing so negative right now. We're not really passing the ball forward. It sounds so silly to say out loud, but it's the truth. We're just so negative. Sideways passes or passes back to the defense. No real confidence going forward. It's a concern. The opening 10, 15 minutes, I thought we looked really positive. Since the goal, it's taken the wind out of the team, unfortunately. Oh, looking at the ball. Salah through and goal. With the outside of his foot. Isak! Oh, just over the bar. Glorious pass there from Mohamed Salah. With the outside of his boot. Look at that. Beautiful. Isak. Unlucky with that header there, but good move there from Liverpool. Need to see more of that. Not once in every full moon. It has to be done quite frequently now. I was gonna say, oh come on, Isak, man. Yeah, it should have. I feel like should have hit the target there, but just from looking at the replay, the way he did it, he kind of lofted it up in the air. So he needed to, hit it right in the middle of the forehead, so it goes downwards more than anything else. But unlucky, decent move there from Liverpool. But we need to see more of that. It can't just be that's the only chance we've created throughout the game. Bradley's foul, Garnacho on the ground screaming for their life as it appears. Was it that severe? Let's have a look. Oh come on. He's going for double goal, isn't he? Ridiculous. Towards down the ball. Excuse me. 2 minutes of stoppage time. And that is the halftime whistle. Chelsea 1, Liverpool nil. Liverpool losing to a fantastic strike by Moses Caicedo. Let's not be around the bush. It was a great strike from the midfielder. Maybe should have defended better from McAllister's point of view, or maybe even Van Dijk there. But overall, yeah, it's not been the best of performance from Liverpool. I think we started very positively in the opening 15 minutes, but once that goal hit the back of the net, it felt like a sucker punch, and Liverpool just really haven't been able to regain that momentum. So hopefully, we can maybe switch it up or just have some words and try and get a reaction from the players, because right now it seems a bit flat. Um, and Liverpool need to do better going forward. I was going to come back with a couple of comments to this lot. Time to earn your money at the half. Make the changes. McAllister off, Verse on. That's not a bad shot, to be honest with you. What we'll do now, I'll take a short break, and once I return, uh, I'll try and return just before the game begins. We'll go through the lineup and see what potential options we can do from a tactical point of view, because I do think we need to switch it up a little bit. And I think the shout from Ozwrld in terms of McAllister off for Verts, it should be looked into. Drop some balls like alongside Gravenberch, and then have Verts in that number 10 role. I think that would be the best sort of balance. That's what I predicted. That's what I wanted in the match preview. So hopefully Arnold takes that into account and switches it up for us, because I think it's just not working right now. But yeah, let's see what Arnold does. But yeah, we'll take a short break and we'll be back in about 5 or 10 minutes, and then we can discuss tactics later in the show. So I'll see you guys very, very shortly. Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Chelsea vs Liverpool live watch along. So, what we'll do before the second half begins, we'll quickly present a graphic to see the current lineup and also identify potential tactical tweaks that we can do to try and get back into the game and hopefully get the winner as well. So, let me present the graphic for you guys. So, this is the current lineup right now. And in terms of things that are working, that are not working, I think Bradley hasn't looked, great today. In my opinion, he's been targeted quite a bit. Ganacho's had, the better of him at certain points of the game. As I'm speaking right now, I can see Florian Wirtz, warming up and getting ready to come onto the pitch. So that would indicate that he is going to be a half-time substitute, which I hope is the case because, as Ozzie mentioned earlier on, McAllister hasn't been great today. They've gone through him like a training camp, probably the best description there because he's just not moved. And that's a concern for me. So I feel like for this fixture, we will need to, you know, tweak the midfield a little bit. And I think maybe, have Szoboszlai in the double pivot. But I would have Szoboszlai more on the right hand side. And then replace McAllister with Verts. I think that would be the way to go. I'd bring on Frimpong for Bradley. I feel like we need a bit more energy. And I remember watching Netherlands versus Spain and Frimpong pretty much demolished Cucurella on that side of the pitch. I feel like that would be the right thing to do. Maybe not straight away, but at some point in the game, maybe bring on Frimpong. He'll bring a bit more of a different dynamic, more pace on that right hand side. So I think that will work well. Um, who else could we bring on? Um, Definitely bring on Chiesa, I think. But I'm just trying to think who would he bring. I'd think maybe Chiesa for Gakpo. Gakpo's done better today, but hasn't really impacted the game, in my opinion. So I would go with Chiesa on that left hand side, and I would bring on Ekitike to replace um, Isak. Isak for me has looked, quite prominent today in terms of trying to get onto the end of something, but it just hasn't quite clicked. So I would make how many substitutions is that? So we've got one, two, three, four substitutes. That's the ones I would look at. Yeah, so let's see what happens. So we've got the second half set to be underway. Other come back says slot read my mind. How? Mate, you're spot on. This was not you just making something up. It was quite obvious that we needed to change. So yeah, you were spot on with your predictions. Hold on, Verts to Salah. Oh my God, Verts almost having instant impact, but Salah missed the target there. How did he miss that? He has to finish that. You're right, Ozan. Should have finished that. Great pressing there from Gakpo. Verts, look at that. Lovely flick there. Perfect, in my opinion. Look at that. This is why we paid those big bucks. Ah, should hit the target. Should have hit the target there. Gakpo fouling Reece James there. Achampong. No, that's really the clearance. Lati on the ball. Oh, McAllister's still on the pitch. Who did Florian Wirtz replace? He replaced Conor Bradley, so it's supposed that right back. Bloody hell. I know he's performed well there, don't get me wrong, but I'm not liking that, we keep shifting and changing Szoboszlai's position during games. It's too much. If he has to be a makeshift right back for a game, it's fine. He'll probably know where he stands. But you can't, chop and change his position, every half or every 20, 30 minutes. It's not acceptable. Most players would actually feel quite disruptive in terms of finding good form or finding any rhythm. But fair play to Szoboszlai, he just cracked on with it. But I don't think this is a long-term solution to keep, changing him around and putting him at right back. If he hasn't put Frimpong there, for me, that's a bit of a concern. It would be an indication that maybe he doesn't have faith in Frimpong or even Bradley. Bradley's been taken off at halftime two, three times already this season. So, that's a bit of a concern because I don't want Szoboszlai being a makeshift right back. I know some fans quite like that idea. I don't personally. Um, but in terms of for this game, let's hope it's helpful. Excuse me. Converts. Now Taylor up top towards Isak. Oh, keeps in play. Unfortunately, only as far as Chile. Good tackle from Isak. Ground back. He shoots. Straight at the keeper. Better from Liverpool. Pedro. Good block there from Kirkez. Kirkez picks out Isak. Heavy first touch there. And the second. Mamadashvili. Pallister to Gakpo. So it's to Salah. Salah cuts in. He shoots. Just over the bar there. High and wide, unfortunately. Ozzie can see all my days, Salah. Yeah, should have done better. No real curl or finesse in that shot there. Pretty much a flat shot, high and wide. Should have done better there, in my opinion. Liverpool had to make another change. I see Robertson getting ready to come on. Will probably be a like for like substitution with Milos Kerkez. Jones as well. Looks like he's been told to get ready. Ekatike with a new haircut today. So hopefully he'll get some game time later on. Another player who almost joined Liverpool in Romeo Lavia. He's set to make an appearance for Chelsea. So Kerkez is coming off for Robertson. Lattes coming off for Curtis Jones, which would mean Gravenberch drops to centre back, and you see Jones alongside McAllister in the middle of the park. Robertson first time throwing to McAllister. Just got a comment here from Ozan, who said, "Has Slot lost the plot? What are these changes?" I can understand the Robertson chain because, as I mentioned earlier in the show, Kirkes and Gakpo haven't really formed a partnership. In fact, there's been moments where that they've pretty much closed off moves because they've failed to find each other, or they've taken the wrong option. So with the Robertson one, I think you were expecting a bit more sort of creativity from that part of the pitch. In terms of Jones, I think he might just be more so looking at his performance. He's not been great on the ball. and there might be a bit of frailty and maybe wants better control in the defensive line. So that could be, presented for that reason. Um, I don't think Ibe was that bad today. Personally, I thought he was better than the last couple of games. Um, but maybe because we've got McAllister and Jones now, you want a bit more progressive play from the double pivot. So that's probably why he's gone for that option instead. So let's see, if those changes make any difference to the outcome of the game. But what we can agree on that things need to change, and that's the changes that he's gone for. So was live through to Salah, slightly overplayed, unfortunately. I think it's only a matter of time that we see the likes of Chiesa and Ekitike on as well. We made three substitutes. Those were two would be the two remaining ones, in my opinion. Going back to Isak. Good turn from Verts, looking very sharp so far. Makai gets a tackle. Lavia skips past McAllister with ease. Took a decent cross. Netta should have done better there for Chelsea. Netta with a corner kick for Chelsea, headed away by Van Dijk. Isak trying to lay off to Gakpo, but unfortunately unable to find that connection. But who's the ball in the air? Van Dijk has it over. Blocked by Caicedo. Verts to Robertson. Poor pass from Robbo. Gives the ball away there. Into the cross. Szoboszlai completely misses the ball. And so does Garnacho, I think it was. Just over 61 minutes played. Still 1-0 to Chelsea. Szoboszlai driving the ball. So I load the cross. Gakpo! Got the equaliser. Much better from Liverpool. More progressive play there. Much, much better. Those changes have, come to good use. Szoboszlai, good cross. Isak hooks it down towards Gakpo, and Gakpo smashes it in from close range. 1-1. And hopefully the momentum has shifted and Liverpool have that taste or that hunger to try and get the second and the third and so on and win the game. Great half volley there from Gakpo. Yeah, that's an assist. Of course it is. What's Gary Neville talking about? Doesn't matter if it means it or not. It's a clear touch forward to the player. The player scores. It's an assist. So shut your mouth, idiot. Says the person who barely has an assist on his record. Especially for a right back, should be having multiple assists, but he hasn't got that many. In comparison to the games that he's played, he should be, in triple numbers, to be fair. Garnacho, oh, good cross there. Great clearance from Robbo. No foul. Ref play on. That's through to Salah. You got Isak. Salah shoots. Oh, Salah. Awful decision there. Another Chelsea injury. Achimpong, the right back, who's been shifted to play centre back, has picked up an injury. It looks like they're about to bring on a player that we were strongly linked with, a player that I spoke very highly about for the past year or so, is Joao Hato. So he will be playing up against Liverpool very, very shortly. Clearance there from Jones. Oh, great interception there from Gakpo. Lays it off to Robertson. Robertson driving the ball. Keep going, keep going. Low cross. Oh, good attempt. Back again. Oh, is he fouled? No, it's too soft there. Pedro Neto up against Van Dijk. McAllister, come on. Gets beaten too easily, does. Ganacho up against Szoboszlai. Someone's fallen to ground. Caicedo. Verts to Gakpo. Isak. On the same wavelength, unfortunately. Going back to Jones. Jones driving the ball. Finds Mohamed Salah. Salah with the cross to Jones. Gakpo, what can you do? McAllister the shot. Ah, he's overplayed the final pass there. Nothing worked there, unfortunately, for McAllister. The shot, tame effort, and then the follow up where he could have laid it off to Verts. Also, not Verts, Gakpo or Robertson there. Let's have a look. Oh, come on. That was not a foul. It's just a collision there. Garnacho, good cross from Cucurella. Good clearance from Robbo as well. Let me just go through the comments there. Apologies. I was like I'm saying, let's go to the goal. Hold on a second. Can we make it two? Salah has the ball. Come on, Salah, taking too long. Ozan asks, was that an Isak assist, Ozzy, or just a lucky bounce for Gakpo? It was definitely an Isak assist, for the records, I guess. So it will be assist to his name. In terms of if he meant or not, I think he was trying to lay it off, um, but maybe not the way it appeared, if that makes sense. So I think he was trying to knock the ball down, maybe for himself, but because it ended up being a bit of a heavier touch, they end up finding Gakpo, which for us, it doesn't matter how they come. Uh, the equalizer has arrived, which is the most important thing. Isak, oh, hang on, come on, no, that's got to be a penalty. You just elbowed him in the face. No, no, let's have a look. Oh, come on, that's a foul. That's 100% foul. Mo Salah has sands in his boots. Honestly, he probably does. To be fair, I've seen enough game of cast off. Yeah. Oh, that's a foul. So Bosnia considered a penalty like that a few days ago, and that was given as a penalty. What's the difference here? That's a definite penalty. Get Endo on. Salah needs to get off. Bring on Chiesa. Eketia has come on to replace Isak. Mark Gu, forget how you pronounce his name. Lavia, Staval. When did he come on? I did not notice him. Gustav, decent cross there from Estaval. Cucurella. I know we've got Ekitika on, but for them to get Chiesa on as well, just add another attacker to try and seal the win. I was going for Salah. Yeah, Salah could be replaced. He's not really. No, he's been involved more today, but it's the final pass, it's the shooting that's been off, in my opinion. Oh, poor pass there from Esteval, giving away to Verts. Ah, Verts with the heavy first touch there. Needed to lay it, forward or flick it forward rather than produce a sort of strong touch. That's a poor pass from McAllister. Passing's been so poor today. Good tackle from Robertson and Esteval. Robertson with the cross towards Salah. That's a throw into the Reds there. Oh, that's a strong tackle there on Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai picking up a yellow card. Gittins. Oh, low cross there, but Groundberg does fantastically well to get something on that ball away from goal. Yes, it is. That could have gone anywhere. That could have gone inside the goal or onto the corner flag, but end up being a corner kick. Oh, to get a shot there that was blocked from Verts. Pass it to Verts. Pass it to Ikatike. Verts to Gakpo. Nice pass. Verts, unable to get the ball out of his foot there. Good tackle from McAllister. Better from him. Gakpo on the left hand side. Oh, that's a foul. Come on. Referee, what are you playing at today? He did not get the ball. He clearly fouled the player. Look, he didn't get the ball. What do you mean you're not sure? I hate these idiot commentators, especially when they have an agenda on Liverpool. Because obviously, Gary Neville being a biased Man United fan, see, I don't think he got the ball. You can clearly see he doesn't get the ball. Can't you just outright say, "Oh, he doesn't get the ball"? Why do you have to say, "I don't think"? Why are you doubting your eyes right now? Just because it's not Manchester United? What an idiot! Esteval, good clearance there from Szoboszlai. Salah, oof, I thought Salah was going to be through on goal there. Reece James just about nicks it away from him. Had pass there from Reece James to Gittins there. Gittins with a shot. Oh, good save there from Mamadashvili. Esteval. Oh, corner kick taken, punched away just about by Mamadashvili. Lions was taking forever to give that offside, and those being brought on to shop right now. Graham Burke, poor pass there. Van Dijk just about does enough there to get the ball away from the young winger on our right hand side in Esteval. Gakpo. No, Gakpo. Read the play. Robertson keeps the ball in play though. Gakpo with the cross. Ah, poor effort. I was like saying no, Chiesa disgrace. Yeah, I think I would have brought Chiesa. I would have brought Endo. Bring on Endo for me suggests that he's happy to take the point away from Stamford Bridge, which I guess yeah, on paper it is what it is. But I have a different kind of approach. I feel like we need to go for it and try and get that winner. So McAllister replaced by Endo. No matter how bad Salah is, Salah will always favour him over Chiesa. Yeah, to be fair, that's not a surprise. Of course, with it being Mo Salah, I know Salah hasn't performed to the heights that we expect from him. He's still one of our most prolific players in the team. So he's always going to favour Salah over Chiesa. That's not even a sort of a debate there. Because clearly Chiesa isn't favoured by the coach. That's obvious as well. In that sort of matter. But yeah, I feel like with Salah, even when he doesn't have a great game, he is capable of producing those clutch moments. So that's always in the back of the thinking when you have Salah in on the pitch, whether it's a penalty or whether it's just a counter attack, that you expect him to finish. He has delivered uh, numerous times over the years. So, if I was to choose between the two in terms of who to keep on the pitch or who would I have on the pitch out of Chiesa and Salah, it would have to be Salah. So yeah, I don't really have any qualms about that. But what I would say is, I think Chiesa should have been brought on at some point. Even if it wasn't to replace Salah directly, it could have been a different player altogether. And the Gakpo could have been taken off. I know he scored a goal, but he has been wasteful in possession. And it hasn't had the best of games, in my opinion. So I would have brought on Chiesa to replace Gakpo. Lavia, nice pass to Gittins. Also, Boslai does really well to intercept. And you know what? It wasn't even a bad touch from Gittins. It was just the fact that Szoboszlai's recovery was remarkable in that moment. Szoboszlai the clearance, but only as far as Caicedo with another shot. Well, that one had a lot of swerve and bend. That's really had to tip it over the bar. So it's a corner kick for Chelsea. Yeah, that was a bit of an unorthodox technique there. Not cleanly hit at all. Good pass there to Szoboszlai to Ekitike. Ekitike driving the ball to Salah. Three people in the box. Come on, Salah, pick up the pass. Szoboszlai shoots. Oh, drags it wide. Should have laced it rather than hit the side foot effort there. Oh, I thought he goes through there. Oh, 7+ minutes. Not sure where those 7 minutes have come from, but we'll take it. Maybe due to the numerous substitutions both teams have made. Oh, Enzo Fernandez with the head. I think he's hit the post there. Let's have a look at the replay. Oh, that's a inch perfect cross. He should have buried it. That is a glorious chance. How on earth did he miss that? Wow, that's a poor miss. I can't lie. Hey, poor first touch there from Gakpo. Poor pass there from Enzo Fernandez. And now the ball to Salah. Gakpo driving the ball, but taken away by Esteval. Unfortunately, overplays it there. Throw inverts. Gakpo. Oh, trying to lay up to Robertson, but not enough pace on that final ball. Jones, he shoots over the bar. I was like, well, to finish that, Curtis, man. Come on. Yeah, should have done better there. The way he hit as well over the bar, in that range, you just got to keep it low, try and, aim for one of the corners. Too much power on that ball in the end. Back driving the ball to Ekatike. Still has the ball. Lovely pass to Robertson. Was that a corner kick? No. Well, Casey might have got the last touch there. Cucurella. Oh, come on. God's sake. What's wrong with this Maresca guy? Relax yourself. This Gary Neville chat's absolute shite. That was not deserved. Well, I come up with the comment says TV off. I don't blame you, to be honest with you. I don't blame you. Can't believe that. No, he's onside. Robertson not aware of his surroundings again. I say again, I'm talking more from last season's performances. He conceded quite a few moments like that. Ah, overreaction from the Chelsea manager. Yeah, I get it. It's the last winner now, but it ain't a cup final, mate. Relax yourself. I'm lost for words. I don't even know what to say now, honestly. Oh, and that is the final whistle. Chelsea 2, Liverpool 1. Same old, unfortunately, with Liverpool. Three back-to-back defeats. It's a concern. I can't lie. Look, I'll try and paint the positives first. We produced a better performance, but only slightly. It's not a very hard benchmark to achieve. We started the first half very well. Second half, we started well as well. But the last 15 minutes, we just lost our concentration. We weren't really up there. And, this was a team that had defenders dropping like flies, and we didn't capitalize. And, with all these sort of different tactics being deployed, never worked. And I don't think he really took that into consideration in terms of what he's got present on the pitch. Those substitutions were just made based on what he probably had sort of pre-written before the game. You have to look at the current situation. Where can Liverpool exploit the opponents? And the middle of defense was exactly the area to do that, but we never did enough, in my opinion. So very, very disappointing in terms of the defeat. Um, yeah, it's just one of those ones where we'll have to assess it a bit more. But I feel like Armstrong did too much in this game in terms of his substitutions. Um, and a lot of players are not playing to their standard. Let's be honest, a lot of below par performances from certain individuals. Um, but yeah, this one's a hard one to take. And there's two games where we've lost in the stoppage time, we were the team that was winning pretty much every game in stoppage time, and now we're getting our sort of taste of the medicine as well. And it's not a nice thing, but hey, it is what it is. But that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks to Oz and come out for your comments. Appreciate engagement as always, guys. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. In terms of match action show, I will decide if I'm going to do it today or tomorrow. So the best thing to do is hit that notification bell, so you know exactly what time I will go live. And then yeah, on my match action shows, as you will be aware, it is also a call in. So if you'd like to come on and have your say, I'm sure there'll be a lot of fans that want to voice their frustration and annoyance about the team. You know, Football Talk Podcast is the platform for you guys to come on and have your say. So yeah, look out for that. Hopefully it'll be either tonight or tomorrow. I'm not entirely sure. Just got to see what's happening at home right now. But that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care, stay safe, and I hope to speak with you all very, very soon. Goodbye.